Hey, what's up YouTube? My big challenge for this year is the Colorado Trail Race on this mountain bike right here. We're gonna ride the full length of the Colorado Trail, self-supported. It's 570 miles through the Rocky Mountains, and it's gonna be hard. And a lot of people have asked me about how I have my bike set up, and I just want to go through that for you guys here today. This is basically what I believe to be the best overland rig that you could possibly build, unless you're a big fat, right? If you're a big fat, you can't really pedal this thing, but as long as you're healthy and you can pedal it, you can do a lot of things on this. So the way I have this set up for the Colorado Trail, first of all, the bike that I chose to ride on, this is made by a small company in Chattanooga called Lightspeed. This model is the Pinhoti 3. It's a titanium frame bike. The titanium is basically the strongest frame material that you can use. And being a self-supported race, if you're out on the Colorado Trail and the bike breaks, something on the frame snaps, your race is over. I mean, you're not going anywhere from that. So it was really important to me to find something frame-wise that I knew was going to be able to hold up to the beating that this thing is going to take. Apparently they build these frames out and you can run them over with a truck and they really don't get damaged. It's fairly lightweight, not as lightweight as carbon. It absorbs vibration pretty well, so much better than aluminum for sure. So it's just really probably the best frame material out there. The geometry of this bike is set up to where the Colorado trails are mostly single track trails, super technical. So it's set up to where I can ride aggressive trail and be comfortable and nice and stable out there. So the Pinhoti 3 is the bike that I chose. You guys will see I got all these daggone bags on here, and I'll talk about each of those things and kind of what I'll probably be using them for. All right guys, today's episode is brought to you by Modern Needs Survival. They sent this out to us to test. It is the Supercharged Supernova. It's basically a solar powered power bank, and the reason we're featuring it on this particular video is because I will be carrying this piece of gear with me when I go do the Colorado Trail Race. I have to have a power bank out there to recharge my cell phone, my bike computer, GPS, my tracking device. There's a lot of things that need to be charged, so this is a really essential piece of gear to have out there. The thing that I love about it and what really makes it different than the other power banks that I have is the fact that it has this fold-out solar panel ready to rock and roll, so that I can recharge this thing in the field. All right, so if I have a power plug to plug it into, I can charge it up a little quicker. But if I'm out in the field, it's really cool to have the ability to charge this thing or refill it with power just from the sun. It has two USB ports in it plus a micro USB, and it all folds up to be just a nice little package. Super important if you guys go out in the backcountry and you adventure, you backpack, you're going out on a multi-day trip, bike packing trip, whatever it is, power bank is an important piece to have just to recharge your emergency electronic equipment that you're going to have out there with you. So thank you Modern Needs Survival for sending this out to us. We've enjoyed using it over the past couple of months, and we're going to really put it to the test out on the Colorado Trail and see how it works. If you guys purchase one of these, well, after you hear this, they're giving away a dream vacation, apparently. So you might get a dream vacation, and you can take your power bank with you. We love you guys. Again, thanks for watching. Nuff said. We'll start off at the top of the bike. Handlebars, these are Jones bars, carbon handlebars. You'll notice they're swept back. It's not your traditional kind of flat mountain biking handlebar, which you do lose a little bit of stability with these bars swept back like this, but it puts my wrist in a in a real nice neutral position instead of having them flattened out, and just makes it more comfortable. Well, it doesn't matter so much when you're just going to be out on the bike for a couple hours, but we're going to be out on the bike for probably 7 to 10 days, and your hands take the biggest beating when you're out there for that long. So the bars are absolutely essential so that your hands don't go numb and you don't jack up all the nerves in your hands. Just to give me another position and take pressure off my hands, I do have these aero bars on the bike. Probably won't get to use those a lot, but there are some long sections I've heard that are on gravel roads where we have to bypass some wilderness areas. So on those sections where it's not technical single track trail, I'll be able to get down in these aero bars and essentially take the pressure off my hands. That's what those are all about. On the front here, you'll see I got this kind of, it's like a handlebar mounted fanny pack. This is where I keep all of my essential stuff that I need to get to throughout the day. Things like a water filter, cell phone, maybe a little Allen wrench set, things that I need to get to quick. It's going to go right here. I'm not going to load this thing up extremely full with a bunch of heavy stuff because it's really the highest point on the bike, the highest bag on the bike, and I want to keep most of the weight down as low as possible for stability. These two bags right here, these are called feed bags, all right? And they're called feed bags for a reason. That's where I'll keep most of my snacks and my food that I want to eat throughout the day. You can actually get a lot of food in those things, especially internally, and they've got these external pockets right here. You can load those things up and it's just super quick access, easy to reach, and I love the feed bags for sure. This top tube bag right here, again, probably be more snacks in there. That'll probably be full of snacks. One thing I like about this top tube bag, if I want to make let's say I want to make a proper lunch and like maybe a dehydrated meal or something, you know, I can take that dehydrated meal, and once it's ready to eat, I can set it down in this top tube bag, and as long as the trail's not super technical, I can ride and I can eat out of that while I ride. So that's a really nice way to be able to ride while you're eating a, you know, legit warm meal. A dehydrate or something fits right down in that top tube bag nicely, and it's in a good spot. Frame bag. In here, this is a half frame bag. I didn't go with a full frame bag because I wanted to be able to keep my water bottle or an extra water bottle on that tube right there. Mostly what I'll have in here is I'll probably have another water bladder in here, and I'll have that just as extra water storage when we're going through long dry stretches. So there might be water in it, and if there's no water in it, I'll just roll it up and it takes up less space. In here I'll probably also have layers of clothing that I need quickly accessible. So like a rain jacket, maybe a wind jacket, some sort of hat, maybe a little microfiber towel I'll have in there, and then just things that I don't need, not food items, but things that I can stop, open this thing up, grab them out, and get an extra layer on or something like that when weather rolls in. You'll see water, I'm rolling with 3 bottles, or at least the ability to carry 3 bottles. I decided to mount these 2 on the fork up here just because water is pretty much the heaviest thing on the bike, and I want to get these as low as I can possibly get so that I can maintain my center of gravity and the bike is stable. So this is a great place. They're easy to get to, they're nice and low on the bike, and as you can see, they're kind of angled toward the rear of the bike instead of sticking straight out off the side, so that when you're going through narrow single track, it kind of minimizes the profile of the front fork of the bike. So I really like that system right there. And then I got 1 bottle mounted back here. Again, that's why I went with a half frame bag, so I could have the ability to do that. This bag on the down tube right here, this is going to be all bike tools. Spare tube. You're gonna have I'm gonna have a hand pump in there, tire tools, extra tire sealant. I mean, it's the whole toolkit. I'll go through that entire toolkit with you guys one day, and once we get done with the ride, I'll unpack the bike and just show you guys every single little gear item in here. But today I just wanted to go over the bike setup. Back here on the back, this is a really cool system made by a company called Tailfin, and it just kind of mounts on these little studs down here, and you can pop it on and off. This is a really large space, man. I can get a lot of stuff in here. All right, this rolls up, so it's a roll top dry bag. It's nice and stable. It can carry a lot of weight. I can still use my dropper seat post with it. In here, I'll probably carry my entire sleep system. So, and also insulating layers, so like a puff jacket, a sleeping bag, bivy sack, ground pad. This is probably where my entire sleep system will go. If I can fit it in here, I'll probably also put my stove in here, my JetBoil stove. So this is going to be where I'm going to keep everything that I'm really not going to need until the end of the day when we're ready to bed down. I can just open this up and pull it all out. Seat that I'm running, this is a Brooks, I think a C15. A lot of people think, man, don't you want a seat with padding on it? Well, I've found that the more I can minimize the surface area of my seat, the less I'm likely to chafe and get rubbed raw in between my legs. So this is just real clean, smooth, and it actually has a lot of flex to it. So although it's not padded, it has enough flex to where it's pretty cushiony, right? I absolutely love this seat. I am running a dropper post just because it's a lot of single track, and I will probably use that from time to time. Tires, Maxxis Recons, front and back. These are 29 by 2.4 inch tires. Shimano XT components all the way around. Same with the pedals, running clipless pedals because I like to be attached to the bike. And I really think this is the best setup that I've ever had when it comes to bike packing. This will be my third bike packing race. I did the Hurricane 300 a couple years ago. Last year I did the TNGA, and then this year is the Colorado Trail. The Colorado Trail is going to be definitely the hardest one and the longest one that I've ever done. A lot of it's at altitude, and it's going to be interesting trying to pedal a bike at 13,000 feet. I have no idea how that's going to work, but I've just kind of progressively, you know, just sought out the harder and harder races, and we're getting there, man. I really enjoy it. If you guys don't really like to run, or you're just looking for a fun way to get out and enjoy the woods and the countryside, the bike is, I mean, you can't beat it. It doesn't beat your body up. It's easy on your joints, and you can cover a lot of ground. You can cover 100 miles a day on the bike, even in really difficult terrain, once you get some experience. So that's my bike. I hope this maybe helps somebody out there who's wanting to get into bike packing. Again, I've tried many different setups, and this is my favorite one to date. I've been riding and training with it, so it's been tested. Obviously, we'll have to race with it to really prove it. And I'll check back in with you guys once we wrap up the Colorado Trail race and let you know how everything held up, how everything panned out. We'll unpack the bike, and you guys will see what all I carried with me. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Nuff said.